Shutter. The shutter is the controller of time. Its function is to open for a specific length of time to allow light into the camera. It then closes, protecting the sensor from further exposure. The length of time is usually brief, only a fraction of a second. Modern cameras use a system of two curtains working together. When you press the shutter button, one curtain opens to allow light to enter, then the other closes behind it. Remember in class we used the old film cameras and opened the back door and looked at the different shutters. The shutter's main contribution is the control over the perception of motion in your image. Shutter speed. The length the shutter is open is referred to as the shutter speed. Shutter speeds can range from 1/4000th of a second to 30 seconds. The shutter has two effects on your image. The first is blurred motion. Long shutter speeds, durations longer than 1/15th of a second, will produce a noticeable blurring of your image. Any motion in your image will be blurred instead of stopped. But long shutter speeds make hand-holding the camera difficult. They can result in unwanted movements during the exposure called camera shake. It is useful to have a tripod or a firm surface to steady your camera during long exposures. The second type of image you can create by controlling your shutter speed is freezing motion. Fast shutter speeds, a duration of 1/250th of a second or faster, will freeze the motion in the image. This stops a moment in time. An important note about timing: when you trip the shutter, the viewfinder goes black. It's during this time of blackout that the exposure is made, so if you see the photo in the viewfinder, you've actually missed it. Here are some examples of some photographs with different shutter speeds. And the star trails are what we talked about in class, that you would use the bulb setting on your camera for. This is a great cheat sheet for you that explains up on top it has your shutter speeds, and then below it the kind of effects that your camera will have when you use it.